I've been trading for almost 10 years now, and in this video I'm going to break down the exact processes that actually helped me progress, that actually helped me change, and that actually helped me get better as a trader, secure payouts, secure funding, and actually start to see consistency in my results. I'm going to try and keep this video fairly concise, fairly punchy, so you are going to have to concentrate. It is going to be pretty raw, so I'm going to be going off a bit off the cuff here. I do have a Miro board that I'm going to bring up, so we're actually try and make this a little bit more visual, a little bit more interactive, so you can actually see the thought process behind these ideas and these processes. So without further ado, let's just jump into the Miro board and get stuck in. So we all initially start trading looking for the best strategy, the strategy that's going to give us the most amount of profit, that's going to make us the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. And usually that tends to be scalping, lower time frame entries, multiple trades per day, which it's fine and it does work. But from what I've seen, the vast majority of people, this is simply not a productive use of time. It's not a consistent model that they can actually replicate time after time after time, and it doesn't work for most people's lifestyles, most people's day-to-day lives. And so the first point is finding something that makes sense to you, and it has to make sense to you, because if something doesn't make sense to you, how likely are you going to follow through with it? How likely are you going to execute it? How likely are you going to trust it? How likely are you going to want to continue doing it? And it's very difficult to keep doing something if it doesn't make sense. If you're trading a certain way and you think to yourself, this doesn't make sense, this trading process, this doesn't make sense, this strategy doesn't really make sense to me, then you shouldn't be trading it. Move on. Stop beating a dead horse, or whatever the saying goes. Find something different. Find something that makes sense to you, whether that's, support and resistance, supply or demand, ICT, whatever that may be. If you can look at a chart and it sticks out at you and it makes sense, and you're like, okay, yeah, do you know what, supply and demand, this actually kind of makes sense for me. Or support and resistance, these key levels, yeah, this is what makes sense to me. Or if it's ICT and fair value gaps and all this stuff, do what makes sense to you. At the end of the day, there is no right or wrong. There is no perfect strategy. There is no perfect model. There'll always be people on social media saying my strategy is better than yours, my strategy is better than yours, look at my payouts, look at my payouts. It doesn't matter. What matters is you, because this is your journey at the end of the day. And I want to emphasize this on you, because you will always get lost looking at other people, looking into other people's journeys, looking into the Discord groups and courses. You will always get lost. The goal as a trader is to understand yourself, to find yourself, what works for you, because trading is a very personal journey. It's a very personal endeavor. So things have to work for you. You have to do, every decision you make has to be for you, right? So this is the first thing you need to do. And you spend a lot of time doing this. Spend weeks on support and resistance, spend weeks on supply and demand, spend weeks on ICT, spend weeks on Wyckoff, spend weeks on order flow, whatever that may be. Spend time trying different things. Write it down. Did you like it? Did you not? Why? Etc. etc. And then once you find something that you like, Prop Firm Match is the #1 place to go to for anything prop firm related. Check the link in the description for the best discounts. Let's get back to the video. You want to build clear rules around it. Now, in my opinion, having a mechanical approach in the beginning of your journey is very important, right? Having fixed risk to rewards is very important in my opinion, because as a beginner trader, you are not at the stage yet where you should be making decisions when you're in a trade. A trade, in my opinion, as a beginner, you should set your entry, set your stop, set your take profit, and you should leave that trade. What this does is it allows you to build discipline in your execution. It allows you to build confidence in your decision making. It allows you just to gather data. Because what we want to do as traders is gather as much data as possible. Because this data is going to allow us to audit not only our psychology, but our trading performance as well, our mindset performance, our day-to-day thought processes, our psychology, our mindset. So having these clear rules, having these fixed take profits, fixed stop loss, it allows you to gather data. And data is very important when it comes to spotting patterns, spotting repeat characteristics, spotting anything else that's going to be of relevance that you can actually work on, you can actually tweak, you can actually spot that these are the things that I'm struggling with. These are the areas that I need to focus on. Because trading is not about being good at everything all at once. Trading is about having a process and then building on that process 1% at a time, getting better little by little by little. Trading is never something that you figure out, you have it all figured out. You never arrive at this stage where you said, that's it, I've figured out trading, I'm done. There is never this period. Trading is it's liquid, it's always moving, it's fluid. So it's always changing. And so being able to journal your thoughts, your mindset, your emotions, your trading technical analysis, your outcomes, all of this stuff is very important to being able to improve as a trader. So auditing your psychology, your technical approach through a mechanical approach. And then once you become more experienced, then you can start applying discretion. You can start applying your experience because you've spent time noticing patterns. You have the data, you have the experience, the gut instinct to say, okay, I've seen this happen before. Something's not quite right here. I'm either going to get out of this trade or I'm going to be a little more conservative with my take profit, etc., etc. There's a bunch of different variations that you can do from this and actually gain from. So yeah, you get to review the journal. You spot patterns and you spot trigger points. And again, that's really the way that you can improve. Not through the advice of someone, not someone else telling you what to do, not someone else telling you what trades to take or what to focus on from a psychological standpoint. Only you can spot these patterns, these trigger points. And then next, it gives you the answers. Yeah, like I spoke about before, it gives you the answers to what you should focus on, to what you should work on. That in turn then helps you improve your decision quality. It improves your emotional control and it improves your self-awareness. And self-awareness is huge when it comes to trading because we don't want to, become overcome by our animalistic mentalities, our fight or flight type mentalities, because that's when our self-awareness, our thoughts go out the picture and our emotional mind takes control. So if we can improve our self-awareness, we can spot these things before they happen. We can spot these patterns before they happen, and then we can gently correct ourselves in the opposing direction to the good quality decisions that we want to make. So at the end of the day, the goal is not to fix everything at once, but it's to build frameworks to get better 1% every time. So there was a lot of information in that, and I went through that pretty quickly because I want to get it out there. I want you to understand these concepts. And I know it probably isn't the typical sort of advice or, what people say on the internet, but I promise you, as someone who's been doing this for a long time, this is one of the few frameworks that actually works. And as someone who wants to improve his trading, you have to submit to time. This is not something that happens overnight. This is not something that happens next week, next month, or potentially even next year. This is something that happens over years and years and years, understanding yourself, understanding the markets, understanding patterns, characteristics, thought processes, emotional feelings. It happens over time. So as someone who's learning to trade, and even myself now, it's important to give yourself a bit of grace. Don't be so hard on yourself because this is not easy. And it was never going to be easy. That's what you have to understand. It's a very difficult industry. So give yourself some grace, be easy on yourself, improve, encourage yourself, give yourself that confidence to keep going, to spot patterns and to tweak them and improve them, and want to learn and want to improve as a trader. Because if you can do that, then you'll really be able to reap those rewards that you started this journey so eager to attain. So that is it for today's video. I appreciate everyone for watching. If you did get to this point, thank you very much for watching. Comment down below with any thoughts or feedback on this type of video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.